How's it going, everybody? PJ or PJ Play on Twitch. Do a quick lunchtime hour in the shop on Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. Excuse me. As you can see, the shop is currently empty. We went ahead and finished up a bunch of projects, got them out the door. We got 7 calls waiting. I was able to rebuild this engine that goes to our Bolt Reptilia, which is kind of a Corvette knockoff. Actually, we still need to put some timing gears on there, and we need a timing chain as well as a timing cover. So, let's see here. What I've done is, over here in the warehouse, I've set up several warehouses. And I believe it's warehouse 4, which is all the parts that came off of our engine. So we've got the timing. No, I don't want to sell it. I just want to put it back in my. Guess we could grab. Let's grab all these parts. And then what we'll do is we'll replace the ones that we need to replace. And I'm just right-clicking now with the mouse, which will move it from one side to the other. If you left-click, then it gives you the option of selling it. I don't want to sell it, like I say. So we're going to try and finish rebuilding this engine. Do I have a camshaft? I do have a camshaft, but I need a new one. This one's only 17%, so let's get a camshaft V8 overhead valve C camshaft. V8 overhead, and I don't know what happened to the high performance section. Camshaft V8 overhead overhead valve C. That's what we wanted, right? But they used to have a shop for high performance, and I was hoping to get it, but oh, I guess I got to fill you in. So I originally got the game on Epic Store. And I appreciate it because it was one of their free games. So they gave you the free game. It's 32%. I don't know if I can do any work on it. And so I was able to try it. Well, then there was some DLC that I was hoping to, that I wanted to get. And unfortunately, I looked all over at the Epic Store and I couldn't find any DLC. So I was like, well, that's a bummer, because I kind of would like to do some stuff. V8 overhead valve, okay. And so eventually what I wound up doing is I wound up getting rid of it on Epic Store and then buying it on Steam. And what I did was I bought the Jeep and the Vans and RVs DLC. So I do have Jeeps and I have Vans and I have RVs in here, so it's very cool. I need a new timing chain. F. Timing chain. Yeah, I know this is kind of going one piece at a time, but I'm lining up. I'm going to rebuild the whole thing. So timing chain. Wait, that's yeah, I guess that'll be. Timing chain, here we go, F. That's the one we want. So I did, so that's the deal. And then much to my surprise, I thought for sure that I would have to start over again, but actually it wound up keeping my original game. So I still have, I'm able to still go that route. All right, timing cover, I know that's, I was able to work on that and bring that back to into better shape, so we're happy about that. Alright, so we need the water pump. How's the water pump? Water pump is dead, so we need a new water pump. What about the crankshaft pulley? It's not horrible shape. 57%. I may wind up just So I got some new ignition stuff. I got the new distributor, new ignition wires. I got, I think I replaced one of the engine covers. I had to replace one of the exhaust manifolds. I rebuilt the clutch assembly, the flywheel, the pressure plate. I rebuilt all that. I bought 3 new carbs because I was trying to rebuild the carbs and it didn't work. So the issue is when you're working on parts, it's kind of hit or miss. You take it over to the table here. Let's see if I got one. Maybe I'll so you come over here, you left click. Okay, now we're in the workbench. Here's our part that we're working out. I got it up to 99%. It will only cost me $1. And there's a 79% chance of repair. If I repair it 100%, it automatically moves it into my inventory, you know, my accessible inventory. And I then have a crankshaft bearing cap, 100% brand new. I don't have to buy one. The problem is, if it doesn't work, you'll hear this loud crash noise, and instead of fixing it, it breaks it even more. So I'm going to go ahead and try this because I don't really need a crankshaft bearing cap, but let's try it. Okay, so that one worked, and we got 100%. But as you can see, there's no other items to work with, even though if I look at my inventory, I have a ton of stuff in here. Like, a lot of it is in really bad shape, and yet I can't work on it. So I don't know what the deal is with that. So what do I need? I need a water pump is what I need. Water pump and a crankshaft bearing. Water pump. There it is. You know it because it's yellow. It's the only yellow one. So we'll take that. We may need a water pump pulley. I'm not sure. Let's go slap this on there and we'll see what happens. So I'm taking a little time right now before I bring in more jobs, just to kind of slap some more stuff, try to get this engine a little bit further along. And I want to drop it into the bolt reptilia that I have in the garage. Yeah, see, we're going to need a water pump pulley. 53% crankshaft pulley. All right, let's get the 2 pulleys, and then we're going to need idlers, I think, and a serpentine belt. Water pump pulley, well, we're going to need that. Crankshaft. That's all we got. Oh, nope. I wanted to grab this. Here we go. Cam. Looking for crankshaft. Pulley V8. V8 overhead valve. That's the one we want. Alright. So we'll do a couple more things here and then we'll hit the phones and we'll bring some jobs in. I'm spending some cash. Throw that on there. Throw that on there. Arm A. You know, it's only an arm though. Come on. You know, come on. I should be able to throw that on the bench and just clean it up and throw it back on arm B. So we need arm A and arm B. And we're going to have to buy because they're in such bad shape. So we'll go ahead and go to all. Arm A, arm B. There you go. All right, so yeah, so I'm getting along here, slow but sure. I want to make sure that, like I say, this is for the car that I'm going to build and hopefully sell. So I'm hoping, you know, I want to do a good job here. One of the other things I'll go over real quick with you is power steering pump. Ooh, 100%. See, that's one of those ones I think I worked on the bench and it came out in really good shape. Alternator maybe the same. No, the same. It was looking very good, and then I hit that one too many. I went to the well one too many times, and it took it down to 2%. So, but here's what I learned about the engine mount. All right, you get up onto it, and a lot of times, when you're trying to work underneath it, you can't really get underneath it very well. So what you have to do is you have to step back, and much like the this thing here, the oil drain. You got to make sure you're selecting your where is it? There, engine stand. And if you left click, it brings up this menu. This will allow you to rotate it to the right. This will allow you to rotate it to the left, and this allows you then to kind of work underneath. Gives you better access. And you can, I mean, you can turn the thing completely over if you wanted to. So here, yeah, there we go. It's upside down. But you just got to remember you're clicking the engine stand and not you get up in close and you're clicking the engine and you might not get it. I know I went round and round with that for a little while before I figured out what I needed to do. I need an alternator. I think it was just alternator. So yeah, I6B, so that's for an inline 6. We don't have an inline 6, so we'll just grab that. So I'm nickel and diming here. I'm at $18,287. Alternator I6B. What? Why do I thought it was just alternator. Now I have an erroneous alternator. An alternator I don't even need. Why is that? I don't understand that. Alright, now we got to get a serpentine belt. Ice overhead valve C, that again. Serpentine belt B. We're just trying to get this thing so I can drop it in. I'll show you. I made a mistake. I had an opportunity to pick up a fully blown engine. There was a barn with 2 of them in there, and I was drooling. You know what I mean? Serpentine belt. What was it? B? Overhead valve? I hope that was it. But then I saw another Reptilia, and I bought that instead, and I'm so mad. Oh, it's jeez, oh Pete, it was the C. Serpentine belt B. Jeez. Alright, I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. Serpentine belt B. That's not it. It's this one. Although I think I'm going to need that other one too. But not paying attention to what I'm doing, I'm talking. So I wound up pulling the trigger on the other one, and yeah. So now I have 2 bolt Reptilias in the garage. I'm kicking myself. Yeah, see, I knew that was going to happen. Serpentine belt A, it said. So that's this one. I hope I'm getting close to being able to drop this back. I probably could just drop it in anytime I wanted to. I mean, at this point, we're far enough along where we need a new radiator fan B. And I think the engine's done. I can drop it back into the drop it back into the car, which would be nice. And I can clear that off. You can also take as you're going through and you're finding crates and you're opening crates, and different crates will have different blocks in them. You can just throw a block up there and start building, building an engine on there. I'm hoping radiator fan B. Oh. Let's do this, Pete. Where are we at? There it is. Radiator fan B. That's all it says. Radiator fan B. That's all you need. Radiator fan B. Right there. All right. 323 bucks. You gotta be kidding me. Jeez, oh Pete. So yeah, so that's another thing that as you accrue more parts, You can, I wasn't supposed to go that way, but that's okay. Again, I'll take you over to my warehouse. There's the warehouse. The first warehouse has all the parts that I've accrued, so I could throw this once I put that other engine back in the car. I could just throw this block up there and start building on it. You know, I've got different heads, I've got different pipes, I've got gearboxes, I've got, and I think that the parts with the red indicate more high performance parts. I'm not positive, don't quote me. But you see, you know, you start to build up a bunch of parts. You could start to put together something right on that turbocharger, ignition wires, you know, so you could start to put engines together on the block, on the stand, I mean, on the jack stand, the motor stand here. So I think this might be done, and I think I could probably just drop this in, right? If I take a look, not seeing any. Obviously we'll need a gearbox, but again, we can put that on once we get the car on all right, so that's done. I think we can take a look now. I'll go to my garage. I'm sorry for the camera work. So we've got 3 cars, 2 Reptilia S's and the Atlanta. So we'll stop in, take a look, and then we're going to grab 3 jobs, and hopefully we'll get one going here before too long. So yeah, so I got this was the one I had originally bought. I pulled that's the engine that's in the shop. This is my Bolt Atlanta, which needs a lot of work, and I'd like to get it painted. I'm not real sure how the painting works just yet. And then I saw this one, and I just was like, ooh, I gotta get it. And it's another Reptilia. It's just the same one. And I should have gone with the fully blown motor. There was 2 of them, fully blown motors with the blowers on them and everything. And I'm like, oh man. They weren't Reptilias, so they weren't like these Corvette knockoffs. They were boxier. They were, I can't, what would you say? Maybe like a Roadrunner, Barracuda, maybe kind of body work. They didn't have the airfoil on the back, but that kind of body style, kind of the boxy sports car look. So that's what we got, and that's what we're working with. Like I said, I'm going to try and get that one Reptilia done first, and then hopefully we can sell it, and we'll go through that process, see what it's all about. I have, obviously I've got the 2 jacks now, and I have 2 doorways, so I could literally hold 4 cars. I like to leave 1 space open though in case you need to do something. I do have 2 available upgrade points, so this is cool. Odds of successful repair raised to 85%. Unlocks the fuel pressure test. Learn all about the car's fuel related parts. You can use it from the pie menu while in the part. I'm finding that to be really good. I really like that, and I think there's so I might grab that one. Instantly examine 9 parts when seeing a car for the first time. Order, barn, junkyard, auction, that type of thing. 10% discount in shops. 5% more income for finished orders. 10% faster part installation. 100% faster part examination. 100% faster screwing and unscrewing. And then this is unlocks the tire tread tester. With this tool, you can check the condition of the tires. You can use it from the pie menu. And I'm finding out, now that I'm figuring that out, that is a godsend. But I'm going to go with the fuel pressure test. And I think I'm going to go with, and this the tablet would also be nice too. That way you don't have to keep running back and forth to the computer. With the tablet, you can just order parts from where you're standing, which would be nice. 5% more income on finished orders. Tire tread. I have a feeling that's going to start being an issue. Tire tread. I'm going to go with odds of successful repair, I think. Okay, so now let's grab some, and I'll show you how these testers work. And that's the whole thing. I mean, when you've got your test I don't know, I can't remember what they call this. Door. They call it door. You got this area here. You've got your test track. All of these things are to help you kind of with your diagnosing. And then you got, of course, you got the test track that you can go and run on. And then you've got these other pieces of equipment. So let's answer the phone, bring in some jobs. Oops. 7 seconds on the Typhoon. Ooh, take it. All right, cool. I haven't seen one of these yet. So let's get this in here. We'll take a look. Brake system needs fixing, and loud when accelerating. Obviously, that's probably going to be exhaust. And then this is just brakes we got to work on. Okay. So again, when you're doing that type of stuff, I run it through everything. You know, you've got all of these diagnosing tools. Go ahead and use them. You know, find out everything you can. And that's, you know, it makes it easier for you. When you're guessing, you're going to wind up replacing a lot of parts you don't need to replace, you know. So take advantage of what they give you. So we're going to run this on the test track here. Acceleration, get her going. We're going to do the slalom here. I'm driving with WASD, which is why it's a little it's a little herky-jerky. All right, we're gonna go hit up the suspension test here. We're gonna bottom out. We're gonna bring it down a little bit. We're going to test some of these brakes. Oof. No braking. We're going to have to back up a bit. All right. So after we've run this test track, we're going to get a report back that will list everything that it finds. All right. Drum wheel cylinder, 3. Clutch release bearing, the wheel hub bearing, the outer tie rods, everything here, 30s. So we've got an idea of what's going on here. It looks like brakes and suspension, obviously. We can go ahead and grab this and move it over now to the test path. I don't think the OBD will work on this one. I think it's a little bit too old, but we can still use the pressure tester. We can use our new fuel. A little hard to start there. So we're going to pull up. The first thing we'll do is test the brakes. So now I'm going to hit the brake button. Front. Well, both front brakes look like they're shot, but it looks like the passenger side is the worse off. Hitting the brakes again. Again, passenger side, but it looks like, you know, all the brakes need to be done. I'm going to do some suspension now. All right. So front suspension again, everything looks like it needs work. This windshield needs work as well. And now here's another list of, you know, parts: brake drum, brake pads, brake disc ventilated. We got small rubber bushings. It really looks like we're going to wind up pulling everything out from inside there. Let's get it over onto. I think let's get it on 2, because it's just suspension and brakes. That's not a big deal. Get through the door. Oh no, I meant not in front of door 2. I wanted you over on the second lift. There you go. All right. Now, if we come over here, we'll pull up our pie menu. You can take a look at the other options we have. Oops. Select the engine, right click, and down here you've got your examine tools. We'll hit that. Like I say, the OBD port does not have one, so this car is too old, doesn't have an OBD port. But what we can do is we can go with a compression tester. Check the compression. Now we get another report. I wish we could access these reports. I'm sure there's got to be a way we can call that up. But that would be cool if you could re-access these over time. And again, this gives you a report of the engine parts, the pistons with the connecting rods, your piston rings, what else? Crankshaft, engine block, and your piston rings. So you can see all of these tests help you to kind of hone in on where the problems are, what the problems are, so you're not going in cold. We're going to check the electric meter. We'll check the electrical system. So again, I really a big favor of all of these abilities, these opportunities to help you diagnose. 37%. We're going to have to see where they want us to repair, what number they want us at. But I mean, you could literally, here's the fuel pressure tester. This is the first time I'm using this. So we'll, carburetor 4-barrel, 2 carbs it's got. So okay, so there you go. We've gone over this top to bottom, everything in between. We're going to take a look now, and you can see all of the stuffs, you know, that was unlisted before. Loud when accelerating, that's exhaust. So but now we know what it is. And what's more is when we back out of here and we go to examine mode. Here it is, overview mode. You can see, if we go to examine mode, you can see that all of the parts that were tested on that in those situations are now lit up in the colors that they are. So I'm not seeing any red though, but I think there's a red over there. So yeah, so make use of the tools that they give you, because they do help out. So that's problem number 1. What do we got next? We've got 37 seconds of Sakura, grinding and shaking from the gearbox. What else we got? Olsen Grand Club. Hello, it's me again. It seems okay. Well, we got 23. We're gonna grab this one. Another one. So now if we examine, because we haven't done anything, this is what it looks like when it comes in. So, you know, again, get it out there, run it on the test track. Doing this one, right? I think I had a Reptilia in here that I think broke 100 on the acceleration test. But this one sounds pretty good too. Oh wow. Got problems with the acceleration, I'll tell you. I got my finger down. Now we're starting to build up some speed here. Test taken care of. I think the test track, I keep thinking this way, but I'm not positive. We'll double check it right now, but I think the test track actually gives you a more thorough stops on a dime, no. But she gets a little loose in the corners. But I think the test track gives you the most thorough report. Gearbox problems, clutch pressure plate problems, clutch release bearing and the clutch plate. So again, that's a whole gearbox situation. Then we may need to change out the hub bearing bolts, the hub bearing, the leaf spring, U-bolts, all of this stuff in the orange may need to come out as well. Actually, we can double check that right now. Just look, 42%. So anything above 42% can stay. You know, your client does not want to pay for a bunch of stuff that they don't think they need fixed. So if he's saying, hey, look, anything above 42%, that's fine with. Oh, you gotta put the car over here first, dummy. Start moving too quick. So that's the surprise, because there's an awful lot of orange on some of these cars. So, but that may be the case. I just don't have it. I'm running past it for some reason. Okay, so here we go. Test pass. Brake test. Front. Well, that's above 42%. Rear. That's above 42%. So now let's see. Let's see if this report is more in depth than the test track. I typically tend to start thinking it's the test track that gives you the more in depth, but we'll see. I am so addicted to this game, I can't tell you how I lose hours just playing this game. I'm really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to picking up more DLC. Oh, did I missed it? No, so the test track seems to have the more. We're going to move this car to lifter A. So it's the test track that actually gives you, maybe I could skip the, well, you know what I mean, not the test track, but the, what do they call that? Do they call that the test track? They may call it test track. Again, I think it's too old for an OBD. Yeah, it's too old for the OBD port, but we can go with the old tried and true compression tester. Let's give her a check out. Okay. 42% on the piston. One of the pistons with a connecting rod, so we may need to actually change out a piston. Let's check some more. We'll do the electrical meter. .74. All right. Alternators at 42%. That may need to be changed out as well. And again, each one of these just helping you to drill down on what's going on with the car. Fuel pressure test. .44 fuel pump, carburetor. Okay, very cool. All right, so now if we take a look, gearbox needs to be replaced. We're still missing a part here. So the clutch release bearing, clutch pressure plate, clutch plate, gearbox. I'm wondering if that's going to be the flywheel. That may be the flywheel. Driver struggling to find gears. Again, clutch release bearing, clutch pressure plate, clutch plate. And that may be the flywheel. So there we go. So we got two. Let's grab one more. This one's going. Oh, Reptilia is out. Oh, we just missed it. The Mayan. Brake problems. DC title. We already got one. Oh, let's grab this one here. Boom. There she is. Oh. Y'all need to take better care of your cars out here. Alright, so we'll pop the hood here. Let's we'll reverse it up here. We'll start with the start by checking it out. Again, too old for an OBD, but we'll do it. We'll just double check. We don't want to take anything for granted. Let's get the compression tester out. Okay. Piston with connecting rods. Most of them look okay. Let's go electrical. Let's try out the electrical meter. Might need battery. 62% starter is 63%, so those may be of issue. We're gonna have to take a look at the end to see what the yeah, we'll do the fuel pressure test. We're in the green. 64, 69. Okay, so we're gonna go here, and if we go to this, car is hard to control. Still, see all of these parts. Rubber bushing, we got a rubber bushing. Fixed body parts. Okay. So that didn't really tell us much. Test path. So there's a test track and a test path. Let's take it to the test path. And maybe we won't need to go to the test track. Although I still think there's things you find in all of these areas that prove to be, you know, helpful. So as much as I'd like to say, well, you can just forget the test track and just use the test path, the reality is I think you wind up finding out some stuff on the track that you don't find out on the path, which is hard to say because the path does a pretty good job. Front driver's side suspension needs a lot of work. Wow, and the rear passenger side needs a lot of work as well. So we'll close that up. Let's take a look. Oops. Car is hard to control. Yeah, so I still think we got to go on the path, the track. I mean. So we'll go get this one all hopefully diagnosed up. And then we'll start working on the cars. We're gonna go to the test track again, and we're gonna take the Tempest Magnum. Tempest Magnum. Let's see if we can break 100 in the accelerator test, the acceleration test. There she is. Purrs like a kitten. Ready? 1, 2, 3, hit it. No such luck. To roar, I can tell you that much. Don't take much to get her going. Taking it wide. Now, let's hope, since we've exhausted all of our diagnosing tools, that we have found as many of the parts as we possibly can after that. Oh, and here you go. U-bolts, rear drive axle, the leaf spring plate, the front spring, the leaf spring U-bolt, 2 U-bolts, actually 3 I think, yeah, all 4, actually all 4 U-bolts. both plates have to be replaced. The front sway bar B, wheel hub bearing. So, yeah, this, again, you look at this and you go, this is, if we hadn't done this, I think this is going to be a lot of the parts. So now if we go back and we take a look, all of these were not, we're still missing a few here, but, you know, all of this stuff is pretty much filled in. We go to overview mode and you can start to see already, you know, you can see parts that need to be replaced. Like we talked about, front driver's side, passenger side, although you need U-bolts on both sides, so that's something. Don't get too far away, otherwise what will happen is it will drop. Got the sway bar that needs to be replaced. So relatively straightforward, but we're going to go ahead and first things first. I believe this was the first one that came in, this one here. And okay, brake drum, drum wheel cylinder. Okay, so we're going to have to do a brake job on this one. Let's do overview look to see if we can find out which one of these. Actually, I think it's going to be, let's start in the back. I think the back passenger side. That's the other thing. That's why I wish I could go back and look at the results of the test. Because it does do a very good job of showing you where. I forget to write it down. All right. And actually, before I go any further, I just want to check my inventory. Yeah, I got a bunch of... Alright, so I'm going to go off-road all of this stuff before I get into this. This is the other thing that I found too. Makes it a lot easier when you're doing... So, like I said, Warehouse 4 is the warehouse with all of my engine parts that I'm rebuilding for the Reptilia. So I'm going to just drop all of these in there. All I've taken off of the car we're working on is that tire, so I'm going to leave that tire in there, and we're going to come back here. This way now I know all of the parts that are in my inventory just came from this car, so I'm not worried about it. This brake drum is going to need, it's at 5%, so that'll need to be replaced. Brake shoe, wheel cylinders at 3%, yeah, so that's the one that will need to be replaced. Okay. 42% the leaf spring is. What did we say? We said 31%. Okay, so anything over 31% can stay. We gotta take that off in order to find out what that's 46%. Leaf spring won't tell me. Do I have to take it off in order to... I should be able to examine it. This piece, yeah, okay. 38%. Again, I believe we said 31%. Yeah, 31%. Okay, so I'm thinking the rest of this stuff is really going to stay where it is. I can only examine that by taking it off. 44%, so that can stay. We're going to swing around here. It looks like we got another red drum right there, so we're going to pull this tire. Yeah, that's in pretty bad shape. Brake drum, brake shoes, wheel cylinder. That looks like it's in good condition. Yeah, 49%, so that's not bad at all. Solid rear drive axle, and the wheel hub is at 35%. So I think we're good. So now we will take a look at our inventory, and we will look for the red. Brake drum 1%, brake drum 5%. Outside of that, everything else, and we got a drum wheel cylinder. So 2 brake drums and a brake drum cylinder. Boop. And we're going to go main shop. We're going to go brakes. We're going to go 2 drums. And a drum wheel cylinder. Dunsky. We'll drop that in there. Rebuild. Okay, so we're going to drop on the knuckle housing. Knuckle housing. Knuckle head. Wheel hub. Solid drive axle. Okay, we're going to drop on the cylinder. We're going to go with the new one. Brake shoes. Brake drum. Tire. I think that's alright, right? I didn't look closely at the parts, I just looked at the overall. But I probably should have looked a little bit closer to the actual parts. Because parts is parts. We're going to go this way. Same thing, we're just going to rebuild. We didn't take this down to the knuckle, we just wheel hub, solid drive axle, cylinder, brake shoes, brake drum, and then the type, 32%, 31 was the cutoff. So again, this guy will be back before too long looking for some new tires, I'm sure. But for now, we're going to get him out the door with what he needs for his car to be functioning. Brake disc ventilated, brake pads, brake disc, so that's the front brake system, loud when accelerating. That's an exhaust system. So let's go ahead and take a look. A looky-loo. Lulu, where are you? Where's it? Do you have an exhaust system? Yeah, look at this exhaust system. Jeez, oh faith. Hooch. Hoochie mama is what the kids would say. Oh, actually it's not. That's it. It's just these 2 side mufflers, but both of them look... It's 10%. This one's 31%. Ooh, 31. That's right on the border. Aye. 31%. It's orange. Do I go ahead and... This is a judgment call. 2 rear muffler Ds. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. He'll thank me for it, right? Because it's, you know, it's right there. You're going to be back in a week and a half, man. You know? You're just going to be back here in about 2 weeks or so. So there, you get 2 new mufflers. He can yell and scream at me if he wants to, but in the end, I've erred on the side of what's best for my client. And I don't often do that. So, all right, so I think that will take care of said loudness. And if we take a look, loud when accelerating, there you go. Oh, it only had 1 rear muffler. Oh, he's going to be mad. I wonder if there is a penalty for spending money I wasn't authorized to spend. So we got 2 brake jobs to do here. We got the front brakes, so we're going to pull this caliper. I may be able to put a little work into this caliper. Oops, I hate it when it does that. Alright, that ventilated brake pad is alright. Let's take a look. Can I examine that? I would like to examine this. Can I examine it? Yes, it's orange. So, yeah, I should be able to examine all these things. Orange. Nothing red. We'll be alright with that. Does it say Wrench Master? I have just achieved Wrench Master, which is another thing I like about Steam over Epic. Although I really like Epic. I'm not trying to, I would never knock Epic. I just, you know, it is kind of cool that Steam has its own kind of deal where you can earn achievements. Yeah, all that seems good. All right, that red for the what is that? The shock board? No, that's something else. All right. So we're gonna go and we're gonna take a look. We need brake pads. All right, let's see, brake pads, and then 2 ventilated discs. All right, I think that's it, right? 2 ventilated. And brake pads. I'm gonna head over to the shop and see if we couldn't maybe help out our. It's not gonna cost us. Cost us $9. We can help them out. Hopefully we don't botch this. Okay, we did not. I'm gonna move on to the caliper. Again, don't botch it. Thank you. Okay, so that disappeared. So that meant that got repaired to 100%, so we don't have to worry about it. 49% for this caliper. Come on, man. All right, cool. 97, I'll take it. Let's tempt fate. All right, 70. Come on, man. All right, cool. Cool, I'll take that. I don't want to, again, you run the risk if you tempt fate too often. You'll just out and out break them, and then you got to buy a whole new one. And obviously, you don't want to have to do that. But we were able to repair the calipers somewhat, so they're in better working condition, and I think our client will be very happy about that. It doesn't cost them anything, you know, just a little extra time. 48 and 40. So they're still, I think it was 31%. Okay. So one's down. Now we've just got to get the other one buttoned back up, and we will be well on our way here. Alright, moving across. Brake disc ventilated. Drop that in there. We got brake disc at 36% though. Oof. 97 and 70, we'll take that. That's better than what it was. $43 and 40. All right, let's back out. Let's take a quick gander at the work order. All right, the brake system needs fixing. We got all check marks like that, loud when accelerating. We got check marks on that. All right, let's get the thing back on the ground, get it out of here. You are out of here. See ya. There it is. Now we're going to go grab this one. We'll move it to jack stand 2. I'm back over here. Let's get that hood open. Alright, so we're over here now, and we're looking at it. Need a new gearbox. All gearbox faults, which I'm almost positive that's going to be the flywheel. So, we got to get it up in the air, brah. Oh, we might have to get, let's see. Sometimes you got to get the starter out through the engine compartment. So before we get the thing jacked up, let's find the starter, which is over here, and let's go ahead and pull it. Yep, I was right. So that way we can, once we pull the starter, we can jack the thing up. We don't have to worry about it. And I'm actually going to even shut that just so we don't wind up You got to be careful with these jacks. Luckily, we got high enough ceilings, but if you open a hood and, and then jack it up, you could wind up damaging the hood. So it's always best, if you can, to keep the hood closed when you jack up your car. Alright, so here we are. And again, because we've gone through the process of deduction, we know we're in the gearbox, but we cannot work on this gearbox with this drive shaft in place. So we have to remove the drive shaft. And again, this is, I believe there's a stand. You could get a stand where basically you loosen it up from here. I think it's just best just to drop it, because if you let this, if this were to fall, it would torque on that so badly and bend out of shape. Somebody stands in the middle, two guys loosen it on either end, and then you just take it out. That's the best way to play that. So let's grab this gearbox. Obviously you can see how rusty, dusty, musty, untrusty it is. We're gonna get rid of it. Clutch pressure. Well, first you gotta remove the bearing, Peter. Then the pressure plate. Always diamond pattern. The whole thing about diamond pattern, as it was explained to me, is it prevents you from torquing down too hard on one side and then warping it. So if you're always working around, yeah, look at that flywheel. Look at that flywheel. Don't avert your eyes. Look at it. Look at it. It's ugly. That's an ugly flywheel. I won't have it. Gearbox. Yep, flywheel. Flywheel. All right. So we're going to go to, what gearbox do we have? I4 rear wheel drive. That's what RWD is. Rear wheel drive, inline 4. So it's a 4-cylinder, I believe. Or I could just be making that up. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know what I'm doing. Alright, so we got that, and we need one of these. Luckily there's not a whole lot of varying parts here, it's just the same stuff. And then a new flywheel. Boosh. Bingo Bob, here we go. And we are back. Alright, and then it's just about assemblage. I want to assemblage the flywheel. I want to assemblage the clutch plate. I want to assemblage the clutch pressure plate. And the clutch release bearing. And we'll put the gearbox back on. I4 rear wheel drive. It's fun when you have a liquid lunch. I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. I'm just having fun. It's fun to play games. I like playing games. Games are fun. And fun is fun. And games that are fun, and games that aren't fun, well, they're no fun. I'll tell you that right now. But I don't think you needed me to tell you that. I think you knew that. Now, the thing I always forget, I always remember to forget, is putting the starter back on. Because I'm like, hey, look at how fast I just rebuilt that whole clutch assembly, which I think in real life is like would have taken me a lot longer. First of all, you can't get to parts this easily. The great part about this is being able to get to the parts so easily. I can look right through the fenders and stuff. That's not typical. All right. So we got the starter back on. So as far as this is concerned, I think we finished it. Boys and girls, moms and dads, children of all ages. Gearbox has been changed. We've repaired all the gearbox faults, and we've repaired the struggle to find gears. Come get your car, man. All right, so now we're over here. Leaf spring U-bolts, that's rear suspension. Leaf spring plate, that's rear suspension. So this is rear suspension, all of this here. Wow. This is all Okay, that's body parts. This is going to be other parts of the suspension system that we haven't discovered yet. Okay, so let's get it up into the air. We don't need the hood open for this. This is all suspension stuff. And I think what we'll wind up doing is just completely taking up. I think we're just going to take the rear suspension all the way down. We're going to pull everything and anything. We're at an hour. Maybe we should call it here. I think we'll call it here. I do have the phone ringing, so hold on. Okay, cool. Yeah, I really should call it here. It's been an hour, and while this isn't too difficult, it seems very straight away. And I think we'll find those other parts. It is a lot of disassembly and then reassembly, so it's just going to be time consuming. So as I'm talking about quitting, I'm going to continue to do. I'm just going to continue to work because that's the way I am. All right, see this knuckle housing? That's going to be one of the undiscovered parts. I can bet money. I will bet some moolah. The shock absorber may be another one. U-bolt. U-bolt, you gone. There we go. We're going to get rid of this U-bolt. Maybe we can plow through and at least get half of it done. I think we'll be able to get half of it done. We got to pull the rubber bushings first. But ultimately, I think that's where we're at. Is we need to pull the entire rear suspension. Pull that out. Okay. Let's jump to the other side, and we'll quickly try to do this before I get found out that instead of working on cars, I'm working on virtual cars. No, I'm just although I wouldn't mind being a mechanic. I used to love working on my car. I had 78. 78 was the year for me. I had a 78 Chevy Caprice Classic. I had a 78 Jeep CJ7. I think it was a 78 Plymouth Fury as well. So yeah, I was like 78 was my year. But back then, this was before cash for clunkers. And what would happen is young people would buy clunkers, what they called clunkers. And then, you know, if we wound up banging into things, it wasn't a big deal because by and large the vehicle we bought was like $300 maybe. Yeah. So it didn't really bother anything. And so you got to buy more economical cars when you were just starting out, but by the same token you also kind of learned how to take care of them because again they were under $500 usually. Oh, I forgot I got to take off the drive shaft, sorry. So you learned a little bit, about what made your vehicle go and how it worked and stuff like that, especially since, you know, a lot of times you would learn your particular vehicle and, you know, what it liked and what it didn't like. And you knew days when you'd wake up if it was, you know, if it had got below zero overnight and you're like, oh, this thing's going to be a bear to start, it just won't go, you know. And it was part of the fun, you know, it's part of the fun. And who's having fun now? Nobody. That's who's having fun. Not me. You having fun? I'm not having fun. Leaf spring. What do we need here? Okay, so we need a solid rear drive axle, I should write this down. That's the other thing, is they have a note function. Where's the note? Here's the parts notes, open parts notes. So here it is, shopping list. Okay. I don't know how to work it though. Add to list. Add parts to notebook. It doesn't, but it's locked. It's still locked for me. So I'm making external lists with paper and pencil because, you know, I mean, what else am I supposed to do? I can't remember all this, and I don't want to be going back and forth from screens. So we need a solid rear drive axle. Solid rear drive axle. Okay. What else? We need a rear axle knuckle housing B. Rear axle knuckle. Housing B. Housing B. Rear shock absorber. Shock absorber B. All right, we got a U-bolt there, but I think I need 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I need 2 leaf spring plates. So 4 U-bolts. I'm not going to put leaf spring U-bolts. Those are the only U-bolts they have. So I need 2 spring plates. Look, now I'm just getting so hip. I'm dropping leaf on everything. Spring plate. Get you some spring plates. We need springs. I did it again. I just dropped the leaf completely because I know it that well. I already got those. Okay, cool. So now, and again, if I had the tablet, I could just order it over there. So again, there's a compelling argument to be made for buying the tablet. So what do we need first, Peter? Solid rear drive axle. There. I need 1 of them. Can I have it? I can have it. Rear axle knuckle housing B. Rear axle knuckle housing B. I need 1 of those as well. Rear shock absorber B. There you go, that right there. 4 U-bolts. Oh, I'm sorry, they're leaf spring U-bolts, so you gotta go up to L for leaf spring. We need 4 of those. Leaf spring plates, we need 2 of these. And we need leaf springs. Boink. There you go. So now we will head back and we will take care of the rear suspension. I think we're going to have to rebuild the front suspension as well. So we're going to drop in our leaf spring rear drive axle, 72%. I pulled it just to be on the safe side. Small rubber bushing. Get that in there. We got another one over here. Oop. Oh, no. Oh, no. Slow down. Okay. So, now we've got shock absorber. Rear shock absorber B. Oop. Nope, this one. I think I'm going to go with this here. 76% on this side. Let's do that. Leaf spring plate. Drop one of those in there. Some new U-bolts. Another U-bolt. Alright, rear axle knuckle housing B. Wheel hub. Solid rear drive axle. I'm not going to put all my new parts on the same side. Try and spread them out a little bit. Even it out, you know, even the feel. You want the feel. Otherwise, one side feels brand new, the other side feels sloppy as all get out. Brake drum. Okay. Just to be on the safe side, I just want to just kind of float around a little bit, make sure I got everything. Got everything. I knew that. We're over here now. All right, so leaf spring. There you go. 77%. Small rubber bushing. 71%. We'll take that. That's fine with us. I gotta get over to this edge for this rubber bushing. 67%. That's okay. All right, so we got the rear shock absorber B. That's brandy dandy new, so that'll be nice for that. Let's get our plate on. Let's get some U-bolts on there. There's that. Knuckle housing. Knucklehead housing. Solid rear drive axle. Cylinder. Brake shoes. Brake drum. I hear you. Tire. Okay, so rear suspension is done. I have absolutely no problems saying the rear is done. This is the front. We got some front work to do here. And we got body parts to fix. But it is an hour and 11 minutes, folks. Thanks for hanging in with me. I know I said I'd only be with you for an hour, but I took a little bit longer. I'm sorry about that. Next time when you come back, I promise you we will still have this one up on the rack here. We're going to pull apart this front end suspension. We will change out a lot of what seems to be oops. Actually, the passenger side does not look as bad, but as you can see, the driver's side looks pretty awful. So that's what we got. Hit the wrong button. Maybe we might even grab two more. Let's see if we can. What do we got here? 49 seconds on the Bolt Atlanta Supercharged. Get that thing in here. Alright, I need one more. Where's that Jeep Wrangler? I want that Jeep Wrangler. Get it. Alright, there we go. So this is that Jeep Wrangler. This is part of the DLC, the Jeep DLC that I have. I'm hoping to come across a couple of RVs and campers out there in the world. We'll get this. This is just like ours. The Bolt Atlanta. Only this one's supercharged, which is what I'm hoping to do with the one we've got. I'd like the paint job too. I'm thinking going black with white racing stripes. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment. Make a comment, a quip, a query, whatever you'd like. But whatever you do, come on back to Pete's Garage, and we'll get the more jobs done. We'll work on it, and we'll get going along. So have a great afternoon. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Until then, be safe, be well, and be good. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.